had always managed a good bit of anxiety and depression my whole life. But one day in my late 30s, I experienced a sudden panic attack on the highway and started having panic attacks regularly in the car. And my first reaction to this was anger. I had always been very self-sufficient and managed my life, but suddenly I could not manage my life. And I had to get help. And so one of the things I learned was that I had been so self-sufficient that I was not able to ask for help. And so it took me a year or so to be able to ask for help, even from friends to help me drive my kids around. But then what I really needed to do was ask help from doctors, from counselors, from friends, from God, in ways that I'd never had to do before. The book that I had gotten from Bob Mills described the three-legged stool. And so the three-legged stool became my motto for treatment for mental illness. You need to go to a doctor for the body, you need to go to a counselor for your mind, and you need to have prayer for your spirit. And you need all three of those. It doesn't do it if you just say, I'm going to take a pill and not pray or get counseling. It doesn't do it to say, if I could just pray hard enough or well enough, that this would be healed. It really takes all three. So when I needed help, I had to go to a doctor for medicine, to a counselor for help with daily life, and I put myself in positions where I was being prayed for out loud by people who laid hands on me. When I had a young adult, college-age child diagnosed with a major mental illness, it was devastating. It was devastating for me as a mother, but it was also devastating for the whole family. There was a lot of suffering that went on in my younger children and with my husband and me as we suffered the unusual loss of a child. And that's what we started to call it. He wasn't dead, but he was gone. He was not himself, and we needed to seek medical treatment, counseling, and prayer, once again, all three, to rescue him, but also to rescue the whole family. And as a mother, I blamed myself. I started coming to bipolar support group, and that was a key piece in being prayed for and getting support. And so I received prayer in bipolar support group, but also this whole congregation rallied around our family. And at one point, I counted up 60 meals that were brought to our family. Mental illness is something that is often hidden, but in this case, it was impossible to hide. And that ended up being a blessing because there were so many people who came and brought meals, and so many people who prayed, and so many people who came and took this particular child out for Starbucks. It's uncomfortable sometimes for people to interact with people with mental illness, but bipolar support group and this congregation were key in bringing us community support.
Thank you, First Presbyterian. What a privilege to pray for this awesome support group.
The First Pres Bipolar Support Group brought God to me and my family when we needed Him most. When a family member was suffering from bipolar disorder. That family member today is a professional therapist at the Priori Treatment Center in London. Thanks be to First Pres. Thanks be to God.